we go again. CTV News political analyst Scott Reid joins us now with more. Scott, great to see you. Now, we haven't heard from the president on the 51st state comments since Carney and Trump met in the Oval Office, between the meeting between those two leaders. What's your take? Why now?
You could almost feel this coming. You know, if you look at the arc of the last few days, these sort of random tariff announcements with no detail, they don't seem to make any sense. In part, you know, they affect Canada, but many other countries. And, you know, standing before all these military leaders, this grand spectacle that looks like something of a sort of tin pot dictator show, you can tell the president wants to boast about his lacking war record. He wants to boast about territorial expansion. So, of course, the 51st state idea comes up. And sometimes you have to wonder if Donald Trump wants to be president of the United States in 2025 or 1825, because between tariffs and territorial expansion, these sound like the agenda of a president from the 19th century.
And also, Scott, I wonder, we know that the Prime Minister has been on calls with the President. He did speak about the fact that they were on a call very recently, too. I mean, does this really come up between them after that meeting during on May 6th? Or is it just something he just likes to bring up every now and then?
I think it's typical of the president. I think you have to put it in the context. He's looking for distractions. He's standing in front of military leaders. He wants to boast and be the big guy. He wants to talk about territorial expansion. Why doesn't Canada just want to be part of us? You know, the sort of uneasy implication being, I've got a bunch of tanks and airplanes here. Look at them all rolled out in front of me. So I think it's just off the top of his head rhetoric that comes out in the setting. And also, remember, Trump has domestic political problems. He's facing a government shutdown within hours. The Epstein files continue to hang around him. So yesterday it was a string of random tariffs without any explanation or detail. Today it's talk of 51st state and warring against other nations. These things are part of his playbook. He throws stuff out as chum in the water to distract from troubles and political problems that he's dealing with concurrently.
How much of this has got to do with the frustration he's unable to get that deal with Canada? The fact we have NAFTA or CUSMA still in place and we have about 85% goods that are tariff-free. How much of that frustration do you think is at play here?
I think he thinks about us a lot less than that. I don't think he's frustrated about those things. I think he would like to see CUSMA, and a big fear we must have is that he'd like to see CUSMA go away because he likes to randomly apply tariffs. He sincerely believes that they're a source of income for his country and they'll somehow regenerate the industrial base of the United States. Those things are not proving to be true, and they will not prove to be true. But I think it's more of a reflex than a sense of broad frustration as he surveys analytically the state of Canada-U.S. trade. I don't think he thinks in those terms. I don't think he thinks that deeply, to be blunt.
Okay, CTV News political analyst Scott Reid in Toronto. Scott, thank you for this.